in Europe, it's not as big, the whole reputation thing, because eventually it'll go away.
Yeah.
But like, but in Korea, like it'll stay for several generations, like about what they
Here's
did
the thing, that still happens here, except only in small towns. And so my question is, and that's another thing too. Does that still happen in big cities like Tokyo or Seoul?
Yeah, pretty much.
Really?
Yeah.
Even in cities?
Yeah.
Do cities still care about people?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I figured like that was a closed community kind of thing, where people had to see each other every fucking day.
It's like this. Remember earlier we were talking about SARS?
Yeah.
About how just one person and then eventually your friend spread it to his girlfriend or
Yeah.
something like that. It's sort of like that because chances. Let's say my hometown was in Busan, which is all the way down south compared to Seoul, basically the epicenter of Korea, right? Busan is in the countryside, and usually I'd be like let's say I grow up there and stuff like that, and eventually I move to Seoul and have an office job or something. Chances are within that same office building, like you may have four like four maybe
I see.
four is the maximum, but you'll have people from your hometown working there as well. There's a good chance even if it's just one. So if you commit a crime in Seoul, right? Basically his home, that friend or whatever who was in your neighborhood, he probably, when he returns to Busan, he'll probably tell all the neighboring families and shit. So the thing is, you got to remember, like in the U.S., it's a really big country. So for information to travel from California to New York, like unless it's a really big thing, like the East Coast, the East Coast will never hear about it. But in Korea and Japan, because they're so packed together, like there's a good chance that everybody in your neighborhood will know within 2 to 3 days. So it's just one of those things, like I'm pretty sure, like even if it was a unified Korea, like all of Korea would know, like all of Korea would know, even if it was just small, if it's a small thing.
I guess it makes sense.
And plus, basically all Asian countries, they thrive on gossip.
Yeah.
So
culture thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like two things that lended to my impression was, one was I guess in the cities they don't really care about foreigners that much because they see them like almost
As
all
tourists.
the time. All the time too.
Yeah.
But once you leave that city, everyone will fucking holy shit.
Yeah.
But another thing too is like one episode I was listening to was how there was this internet forum where you just post shit or post gossip anonymously. And one guy's reputation was completely fucking ruined by this one comment, I guess. It's like, oh, he's a fucking terrible person kind of thing. And that just fucking ruined him. Because everyone in his hometown just refused to talk to him from then on.
Yeah.
Thinking he was like a pedophile or, that kind of equivalent.
Yeah.
And so they didn't figure out who the fuck that was and whether it was a lie or not until like 2 years later. And then it was like, oh, it's because it's a small town and everyone reads that shit or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like, so I was wondering, it's like, this is a small town thing, right? Like, I guess small towns are more susceptible for like, herd mentality in a sense.
In a sense, yeah. But the thing is, like, you even still, like, you gotta remember, even though it is a small town, like the districts are so close together. That's why, like, every time we watch an anime or something, like, oh, it's over in the next district, which sounds very far away.
Well, it's just a train ride away.
Yeah, it's just a train ride away.
It's like a bus ride.
Yeah,
it's like us going to LA.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. No, not even. It's more like this is Reseda, right? It's more like going to Balboa.
Oh, okay.
Balboa or Encino or Van Nuys. It's like that because it's just I don't know. It's just the way the cities are built.
Yeah.
I guess it's well. The thing is, it could be far away, but at the same time, it's really not because
Like LA, it's only 20 minutes away. Yeah, but sure it is. It's
yeah,
like 20 miles will fucking take you an hour.
but that's the thing though, because you got to remember, public transportation between LA and Japan or Korea or let's just stick with Japan and Korea because
Yeah.
China's way too big anyways.
Yeah. And technically, they have packed
Yeah.
traffic nowadays too.
Like for us, okay, I was staying in Union, which is basically the equivalent is the Valley and Ventura County. That takes
Okay.
about 40 to 50 minutes to get there, right?
Uh-huh.
Public transportation would cut that in half. It takes
Okay.
about 20 minutes to get there. So even though it is far away, it's actually very close because
it's basically a transport skip.
yeah, it's just
It's just the only reason why it's
by our standards, it
Yeah,
sounds
yeah.
very far.
yeah, but I guess their transportation is more, I guess,
Efficient.
permeable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and efficient.
It's because the country's so small.
Yeah.
But Korean public transportation is actually, I think I told you this. It's more efficient compared to Japan because
Yeah.
Japan is it's much larger than Korea and it's multiple islands. It's hard to travel between
Yeah.
cities and city. But in Korea, because it's
It's
just one large.
It's a vertical peninsula versus like a fucking diagonal.
Yeah, it's not, and it's not even, and it's not a chain of islands either.
Yeah.
So, it's one of those things.
There's a lot of things I kind of like. I hate Twitter. Silly enough, only because I hate the name.
Yeah, me too.
But there's a lot of things like I kind of want to use it for. Like I'm kind of curious about international opinions. Like when Scotland was trying to break free of like England,
Yeah,
I really wanted someone to get the opinions of what Chinese people thought about that thing. That is, if they were hearing about it. Because I got that opinion of a Chinese official, and he's just like, "This would never happen in China."
that's usually how it how it is.
And I'm wondering, it's never happened in China because you'll never bring out that fact that it happened over there, did you?
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if they do hear about it, I wonder what they think about it. And then 2 weeks later, Hong Kong started protesting. And then there was another thing too, like I wanted to know about. It was about like something that happened in Europe, and then I want to see how I guess Asia thought about it or something like that. I don't really remember. But yeah, part of me just wants to know that. But then again, you know, I don't know how well international Twitters converse with each other that well.
Probably not too much.
Despite everyone having a Twitter.
Yeah. Like because you have to understand what they're talking about.
Yeah, the language barrier
Yeah.
too.
And usually, because the U.S. is a very nation, chances are they'll stop right there. Even if it doesn't mean anything, unless they're like really devoted, like a lot of.
You have to get all those fucking tags in there and shit like that.
Like unless they're really obsessed with it.
wonder if Asia did a React series equivalent to the ones we have currently. I wonder if it would be popular over there.
Oh, I'll look it up.
Because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things that they would just find totally asinine.
Yeah.
Why do these fuckers care about football so much? I'm curious. What do Japanese hikikomori people think about YouTube people making a wage off of that?
Personally, I don't think they pay too much attention to it. I mean, I'm sure there is some, but at the same time, like they probably wouldn't care because of the language. Right? Look, like I said, man, fucking Japan and Korea, they learn English, but they're one of the worst.
Not apply it, yeah.
Yeah. So they probably most of the time they probably won't bother with it because they probably speak too fast and
No, not like watching our series, but like if someone in those respective countries made an equivalent.
oh, an equivalent. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
like if you were to be in Korea and then you would gather a bunch of Korean kids or teenagers and just show them like, look at these cultural differences or some shit like that. What do you think about that shit?
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. I get it. Okay.
Look at their Pizza Huts. They don't have shrimp at all. I was like, what noobs?
Good question. I'm curious now.
Because I know like there's that Japanese equivalent of eat your kimchi.
Yeah.
They kind of did a similar, but it wasn't very like everything based. It was like what are some stereotypes like what are some stereotypes you think, or what are some things that you notice about foreigners? That's like as far as they go. It's very just international travel based.
Write down a couple questions that you want to ask. I'll ask my cousins because he's in college now, so it's probably the right time to